Again, this is Dr. Justin from Next Level Health Center. Today I got to share with you guys, we call it our Next Level Blueprint. Okay, it's a pathway that we actually share with a lot of our patients, and now you guys get a little access, sneak peek at what we do and how we get people from point A to point B. Okay, so we call it our Next Level Blueprint. So the first thing is I want to introduce you. So what we mean by this is, today we're talking about anxiety, depression, and chronic fatigue. So what does this look like? What does this feel like? What does it sound like to be in the state of having anxiety or having depression? You know, having just chronic fatigue where you don't want to do anything. So typically what we see is, what it feels like is you don't want to eat. You have like a loss of appetite. You feel like a terrible parent because you don't have time to cook. You have no desire to cook. You have no appetite. You want to eat. It's affecting your relationship with your spouse because your body's in this stress state. You have no libido. Like, it's affecting the whole thing like that. You actually feel like you're walking around like a zombie. Most of you guys go to the doctor and you get on a drug and you feel a little bit better, but then over time you start going back and they have to keep changing your prescription over and over again, okay? And then your body just hurts, it aches, you just feel miserable, and it's kind of like this vicious cycle that you're going into, and then you start thinking like, I'm never gonna get better. I just keep getting this vicious, like, kind of get stuck in this big huge rut, and there's a feeling of like hopelessness, like, why me? You start getting this, like, I like to call it the victim mentality, which is, it's fitting because you feel like crap, right? You feel like crap. You don't know what it feels like. You're like, I don't know how to feel right now. That's the very common phrase is, I don't know how to express myself. I don't know how to feel in this state, okay? And you don't even want to sleep. You're staying up at night, trying to figure things out. You're like looking on Facebook, trying to find some comfort. You're reading books. You're asking people what they're doing. You're doing everything you can in your power, but guess what? You have a hard time even concentrating. So you could read something, you have to read it again and again and again. You have to, you're like, you're kind of in this vicious cycle again. Like I said, this anxiety, depression, some days you have good days, some days you have bad days. Some days you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, okay? And then you're harboring feelings of guilt. Well, it's past mistakes, past lifestyles, past things that have happened, and then you feel like you're worthless, okay? This is somebody talking to you and tearing you down and all the negative effects. Because guess what? Depression is a dark, dark, dark state. You almost feel like this dark cloud is over you. You know, you've seen those cartoon commercials where that cloud's over top of somebody and it's just dark and everyone else around you is happy. And that's kind of what you see everybody else at, okay? And you're watching TV late at night, infomercials, you know, you see P90X come on TV, and then all of a sudden there's a depression commercial that comes on with it, right? And it just shows someone like this, they twist their spine saying, taking this drug is so happy you'll feel. Okay, and you're like, I need that maybe. Maybe that's this doctor's right for you, right? But I really don't want to have digestive liver problems, feel, you know, all the things that come with it, okay? And the worst case scenario is you start getting bad enough, you start contemplating is, the world would be better off without me. You know, and so you've either tried suicide or you thought suicide or something like that, okay? So this may tie into you or somebody that you know. This is a big deal, okay? Suicide is a big deal. Being depressed or being over anxious where you actually get to this overactive state where you're just this hyper state, okay? It could be either one, but this is the state that most of you guys are sitting and listening to this video are in. If I'm speaking to you, there is a solution, okay? And we can help you with that. So then the next phase that we go to is called our paradise. What that means is, what does that look like to be in the state? What are you hoping that if we help you with your anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue, if you're getting control of that, what would that look like? What would that feel like? What would you be able to do that you can't do now? Okay? So things that we get all the time in our offices, people say, I just be happy. But what does happy look like? Well, I have energy. I want to go out, hang out. I want to go on dates with my spouse. I want to go hang out with people. I want to go involved in my church. I want to be able to serve more people. That's what happy looks like to them. You fill in your own happy, okay? The next thing is they said, I'll be healthy. I said, what does healthy look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? They're like, energy's up, I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm running around, I'm able to do everything I want to do. I'm playing with my kids. I'm not laying in a room with, with the lights off, crying, not knowing what's going to happen, okay? You're out there engaged in life, okay? You start actually have a desire to start cooking food, and you're actually eating healthy food, and it's exciting. You start engaging your family in the food process. It becomes really exciting, okay? And then you start having the greatest love affair with your spouse on the planet. That's what I'm saying, right? That's what everybody wants. They want to feel loved, and they want to give love. That's the biggest emotion that needs to be needs to be fulfilled. Okay, we call it the love tank. We talk about the 5 love languages. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's huge. Is you want to have the greatest love affair with your spouse. You want to go on dates. You want to go on weekends. You want to do all these fun things, and then also love your kids. Okay. Second one is you want to be present and engaged. What that means is in life, you don't want to just walk around as a zombie anymore. You want to be engaged with everyone and anything. You want to share your gift and talents with the whole world. Okay, and you want to serve others. You know what you're worth. There's no pain, and you're actually going to bed and you're sleeping. You're waking up full of energy and can't wait to start a new day. That's what it's like to live in this paradise. You may have other things that you want to put in there, but what does that look like for you? What does it look like to be in this state of no anxiety, no depression, no chronic fatigue? What could you do that you're not able to do now? Maybe it's, I'm able to go shopping in the store without freaking out. Like when you go to Walmart, you're like, I can't walk into Walmart. There's too many people. It freaks me out. Okay? Wherever it might be, what could you do that you can't do now? You fill in that blank. Okay? And then what you see is when you take these 2 streams where we talked about the pain was the first thing we talked about, all like the loss of appetite, the miserable state that we're in there, and where we want to go, there's a huge gap. Huge gap. This is what the blueprint comes into place for, is it bridges this gap. Okay? And there's a step by step by step by step process. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, right? Where they're coming out at the very end and there's that long bridge with each plank, and they have the ropes and they're walking across this big gorge, right? That's kind of what it's like, is we have to lay down a plank by plank by plank. It's a step by step process. And we're doing this in our office by addressing 4 important things. One, we address your nutrition, nutritional deficiencies, your toxicities, your food allergies. We address anything you think about nutritionally and help you start making better choices in your food. And sometimes it's just replacing something with something better. And you might be doing great. I might tell you, you know, you're doing fantastic. I might say, you know what, we need a lot of work to do, okay? Because a lot of times you learn behavior. So that's one of the planks that we put down, okay? We dive into that, each area there. Okay, next thing we do, we dive into movement and exercise. Your body and your brain require movement for healing. If we didn't use a joint, it start to break down, deteriorate. Same with the muscles around it, everything around it start to break down. The same thing happens when we don't use our bodies and our brains, they start to break down. That's not what we want, okay? We want to move forward. And guess what? Dementia right now outbeats cancer by any means and funds. It's the most expensive thing on the planet right now is dementia. And that's because it's a lack of things and just a buildup of toxins in the body. We've got to take care of that, okay? So we teach you how to move right, how to often to move, when to move, and do these things like that, and to be engaged. Because a lot of people love to go outside and hike. Okay? That's a huge thing you can support yourself with when you have anxiety and depression, to get outside, okay? And what we call our X factor is when we dive into chiropractic and acupuncture, okay? We have to, and then I'll put it this way, there's 2 different kinds of chiropractors, those that get out of pain, and those that go, actually there's 3, and those that just kind of say, hey, we're correcting this. There's people that go beyond that, which is lifestyle, and that's what I do. I get you out of pain, I correct the problem, but then we show you the ways to not recreate the same problem over and over again so you can get a better life you want. We're actually reversing the aging process. What that means is arthritis in the body breaking down. We can stop and reverse that process through the techniques and process that we teach you here. And then we use acupuncture to solidify and dive into the emotions. We dive into all the aspects of life and to promote healing quicker and move things forward. We actually have other therapies that we do, but that's kind of our big X factor, is the things that most people are missing. A lot of people, you guys have changed your nutrition, you're starting to do yoga, Pilates, you're starting to move, but you don't have your nervous system checked regularly and keep it functioning, okay? And the big one that happens with depression and anxiety is the brain, the thought process. A lot of you guys feel like you're not worth it, this is too much time, too much energy. When is the time? I don't have time for this. This is a big thing that we hear all the time in our offices. I don't have time for this. And I said, well, you have to make time to make it work, okay? You have to put in the work to get the result, okay? Things don't happen just by hitting a red button like they've been taught on commercials forever. Like, hit that button, everything's solved, okay? We actually have to do the work. And why? Because it's not the result that we're looking for. It's the journey, that what it does and how it changes and transforms our lives is what we really crave, what makes us who we are. So if I gave you $1 million today, how long would that $1 million last? Most of you guys will burn through that thing so dang fast, right? But if you earn that $1 million, you're gonna hang on to that and you're gonna know how to use it to make another $1 million or maybe $10 million. We have to go step by step because you don't know what to do with it. Most of the people that won the lottery, won the millions of dollars, they end up bankrupt within 3 to 5 years because they do not know how to use the money. So our job is to teach you step-by-step process of how to get from point A to point B, which is your goals, not mine, Okay, because I used to think everyone wants this, but not everybody wants this, which is the health I was always teaching. So I help you meet your goals. We set a program to help you meet your goals and your system so that you can experience and express the life and health that you've always desired, so that you can share your talents with the world and fulfill your purpose. Okay, that is a big part of my mission, is to get your body functioning so that you can share with the world what you have, because you have a lot to offer. So I want to invite you to a very special event where I actually dive deeper into the details of what we're doing and actually give you the hands-on experience and training about how to take control of the anxiety, depression, or chronic fatigue, whether you have one or all of them. Like I said, anxiety is an overactive part of your body and your nervous system. Depression is an underactive. Chronic fatigue is a burnout between the two, because your body can't stay in that state for too long. So we're going to be talking about this in detail, what acupressure points to rub you can do at home, what foods and supplements you need to do, how to start doing different things. We're going to teach you so much stuff that you'll start having your foot in the door to moving towards health and not away from health. Okay? So we want to invite you to a dinner event that we're having at Arugula Delis at 6 o'clock on January 18th, 2018. We have limited spots. Literally, we only have about 30, 40 slots that we got to have. We can push them to about 40. We only have a few slots, so if you want to bring you and a guest, make sure you register as soon as you can, because they will fill up fast. They always fill up fast as we do these talks. Okay, we'd love to have it. This is called Beating the Winter Blues, Anxiety, Depression, Chronic Fatigue. We want to teach you not only how to just maintain through it, but we want to teach you how to beat it so you stop having these problems year after year after year, month after month, whatever it might be for you, okay? So I want to personally invite you to click down below and register for our event, because make sure, remember, seats are limited, so make sure you get registered, because we don't want you to be left out.